Middle school students harassing and bullying a 68-year-old school bus monitor and bringing her to tears.
You're fat. You're so fat. You take up like the whole entire seat. Oh no! Oh my God! Your glasses are foggy from your freaking sweat. You fat. If I stabbed you in the stomach, and my knife would go through you like butter because it's all watery.
Unless you have something nice to say, don't say anything about it.
The decision one Chicago dad made to turn in his own son after seeing this horrifying video on YouTube of his child front and center bullying and beating another kid. ABC's Lindsay Davis has much more.
Stop bullying.
Stop bullying.
Stop bullying.
Bullying is not the answer.
I matter. I have feelings. Stop bullying me and others. Period.
I know, man. I like it. Man, say clearly, man. Yes. Golly, bro. That's a nice phone. Yeah. Hell? You want to give it up, man? No, man. What you say? Hey, come on down. What y'all playing for, man? Get off of it. Stop bullying.
Bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-age children
that involves a real or perceived power imbalance.
The behavior is repeated
or has the potential to be repeated over time.
Both kids who are bullied
and who bully others
may have serious, lasting problems.
When I talk with students about bullying, I help them understand, or try to help them understand, the severity of it. I want to know, are you sending text messages that are hurtful and spiteful and mean? Do you act before you think things out? Do you use profanity? Do you use negative words to refer to a human being? Do you knock the books out of someone's hands? Do you even pressure people into smoking or drinking? Do you make them feel bad about themselves? Do you push them out of line when you're getting on the school bus? People think this is a small thing, but when you do these things, you are a bully. Hands down, it's unequivocally, unquestionably, undeniably wrong to take advantage of another human being.
Bullying is a disapproval to me. I don't approve of bullying because it hurts people's feelings. There's verbal bullying, there's physical bullying. There's verbal bullying when you talk about someone, and I don't like people to talk about me, so I won't talk about anyone else.
Bullying is treating someone different than others, and basically not treating everyone equal. In the past, I was told I didn't look, my hair was messed up. I was told I didn't have a nice outfit on sometimes. Told I was ugly. I felt kind of bad, but after I thought, I know I'm not ugly, I know my hair is not bogus, and I know that my outfit is how I like it, then I didn't really feel bad anymore.
Well, bullying is taking unfair advantage of someone. Bullying is putting someone down for a number of reasons. You might do it because you have low self-esteem yourself and it makes you feel good. You might be doing it because it's the only way you know. You might be doing it because you're bullied and you feel like that's the only way you can feel good about yourself is bullying.
Bullying comes in more forms than one. You have cyberbullying, you have verbal bullying, social bullying, and last but not least, physical bullying.
Physical bullying. People who walk through the hallways in schools, for example, manhandling, pushing people down, tripping people, smacking people upside their head. That's one particular type of bullying.
Social bullying is when you make someone feel like an outcast. Somebody could, come to school or something and, they may not have the clothes that everybody else has, so they're being social bullied because they're not able to hang out with the other kids because they don't have the cool clothes.
You've got verbal bullying, talking to people, making them feel as small as ants.
You got cyberbullying, which is when you bully someone through technology. Could be texting through a cell phone, could be Facebook, could be Twitter, could be an email.
People always keyboard box on Twitter, Facebook, And people's feelings get hurt on Facebook as the cyberbullying because someone always has something to say about someone else. That's not right. Someone always might talk about someone's baby on Facebook or how the person looks. There's always burn pages on Facebook, and that's the bullying I disapprove of.
I feel cyberbullying is a little bit of verbal bullying. You can't hear it, but you can read the words.
We are better than the bullies that would try to take us down. To all of the children out there who feel lost, who are struggling with your weight, with the color of your skin, your sexual preference, your disability, even the acne on your face, listen to me right now. Do not let your self-worth be defined by bullies. Learn from my experience that the cruel words of one are nothing compared to the shouts of many.
Oftentimes kids think that we're just playing around, but the thing is, no one is having fun except the person who is doing the taunting. No one is enjoying being the focus of ridicule or the butt of a joke. And so I think it's really important that people need to understand that bullying in our schools is contributing to truancy, absenteeism, disengagement in the classroom. If you want to talk about not having a quality education experience, we want to blame the teachers, we want to blame the principals, we want to blame the school system.
People been picking on me and teasing me and calling me out my name and stuff, and I be telling them I don't like that and it's not a very good kind to do, to be bullied on, and I don't like getting bullied. Can you please stop bullying me?
I was bullied. People put that at me because I was fat, and people thought I looked ugly and stuff. So they always used to bully me at summer camp. It hurt me. I thought I was different. Like, I thought I wasn't cool like the other kids, that I couldn't do stuff like the other kids. I was ashamed. I used to spend a lot of time in my room, just being by myself instead of talking to somebody. I just used to keep all the stuff to myself.
Are you a bully? One person in my food nutrition class had special needs. He's in special ed class. Some people in that class just bully him because of the things he do. Like when a teacher play music, he'll dance and they'll laugh at him. Then I figured, like, why laugh, you see? And he just another person like us. And they don't realize that the special need kids are sometimes smarter than the regular kids. They will laugh at, a special needs person. I've laughed before, but now I got the understanding of how not to laugh, how to help them. Because, I have a special needs person in my family. So I realized how not to laugh and how if you do laugh, one day something can happen to you. And then people can laugh at you. So now I realize, not to bully and take up for them. So now, lately, before we got out for the summer, I took up for that special needed person in my class. And I told them, hey, it's not right. And you know what they did? They started laughing at me. But it's okay though, because in the end, I'm right, they're wrong.
My name is Deborah Vines, and this is my son, Jason. Jason has autism. Autism is a developmental disorder that impacts socialization and behavior. Jason has been bullied in the grocery stores, at church, at school, indirectly. People in the stores, they laugh at him because sometimes he talks to his hands or he laughs when nothing's funny. But that doesn't make me feel well because he doesn't know that he's being bullied. He's being bullied socially, I'm being bullied socially, and Jason's being bullied indirectly, and so am I. It doesn't make me feel good. Jason doesn't know that he's being bullied, but I do.
When I met Ms. Vines and to see the work that she was doing with the autism kids and stuff like that, I realized, like, hey, Kiwanis, that's wrong for you to be laughing at people with special needs. So that's when I stopped.
Yeah, like when people make fun of you just because you're in a wheelchair.
And how does that make you feel?
Sad, depressed, angry.
I'm not a bully, but I used to bully, but I'm not a bully no more. I currently heard that someone had got bullied and committed suicide. So I thought to myself, is this really what I wanted to do? And I chose the right path, which is no. Stop and look what you're doing and think back to your mind and tell yourself this is really what you want to do. And if the answer is no, then don't do it no more. If the answer is yes, then carry on about your life. Just know there's going to be consequences to face.
Bullying is not the answer. I have feelings just like you.
I have feelings just like you.
Stop.
Stop. Students together opposing peer pressure.
I have feelings just like you.
We have feelings just like you.
And we see it in the media. We see it in Punk'd. Love Ashton Kutcher. But the thing is this. He is hurting people psychologically with his messages. You know, I can appreciate entertainment, but when you look at movies and films like Family Guy, when you look at even, which is so disheartening to me, Basketball Wives, you know, Mean Girls, it is popular now to hurt people. It is nothing for someone to spit on someone, to slap them, to punch them, to kick them. And when I talk to youth, they don't even blink. They say it's entertaining. But when we search at the root of it, it's entertaining because they have been punched, slapped, kicked, called names. All of those things are so common to them that they have become numb. If you are susceptible to that, you are being bullied. If you are doing those things, you are a bully.
A lot of times, we are bullies with our children, believe it or not. You know, because I mean, we'll get all up in our kids' face, look, you do what I say, not, you know, not as I do. That's bullying. It really is, you know, so especially in these days and times, although we have to be straight up with our kids, we still have to kind of watch our language because what do? They do what they see at home. They mimic what they see at home. You go to the family that has, you know, a lot of parents have 7, 6, 5 kids. The oldest one is gonna do what? Bully the youngest one. So it stems from that as well. And then another time is the personal history. You might have a dad that, you know, see a lot of, and I'm sorry, man, but I'm keeping it real. Man up, don't you cry. That's a bully. You're bullying your boy to think that he's not supposed to be sensitive. So then what he gonna do? He gonna go in the streets and he gonna talk to his friends. Man, you better man up. My daddy say man up, man up. See somebody crying. So he gonna take it from being at home with his daddy telling him to man up, and then he gonna go to his classmate who might have fell on the ground, hurt his knee, and he telling him to man up. He bullying them.
No one is exempt from being a bully. It's not just a youth, it is a parent, a caregiver, a grandmother, an uncle who's at our annual holiday parties, Christmas events that comes over that's loud, obnoxious, drunk, pushing you around. It is when you have birthdays and you're 14 years old and everyone want to give you a lick, and usually it's a punch, and so you have to laugh it off even though you want to cry. And some people want to tie these things to those are our family values and customs. No, they're not. What they are is what we have adapted from society to say that the strong can prey on the weak. You are a bully when you do that. There's no excuse for it. We need to come to a point where we really look at solutions and we really look at the core of the problem.
Sometimes people bully other people to try to fit in or try to make themselves feel better because they're not approving in their household. I always try to have my friends get the positive outlook on life. Like my best friend, she's not really good with change. So I try to help her with change, good change, not bad change. Like the way she was kind of raised up was like she had the bad outlook on life. The way I was raised up, my mom, she made me look at the positive things on life. So I try and help her with the good change and getting herself together.
In the urban community, a lot of that bullying, the root of it is lack of knowledge, lack of information, ignorance. You don't know any better. That's all you know. That's what you see, so that's what you do. Lack of things to do. So many people look at bullying as, oh man, we're just fun and we're just having fun. We don't have anything else to do, so we're having fun. Not realizing the terror that they're putting another person in, the danger that they're doing to, and the harm that they're doing to another individual. Many people, like I say, bully because they think it's fun. But when you put the shoe on the other foot and and let them see how it feels to walk in that individual's shoes, then the light begins to come on, and many of them realize, you know, this isn't cool. We need to find something better to do.
One of the challenges with that is this: because we've taken social workers and truancy officers out of the schools and school counselors because of budget cuts or whatever excuse, and perhaps they're legitimate, but the reality is the teacher now has to play all of those roles, which is so unfair. We're seeing a huge disconnect between generations. There's no bridge between the millennial learners, the baby boomers, Generation X. There's so many common threads because in every era or every generation there's been bullying, but everyone dismisses the other forms of bullying in each generation as you didn't have it as bad as we did. And so we continue to smother the problem, bury the problem, ignore the problem, resist the problem, because if you have to acknowledge it, that means that you have to do something about it.
Bullying has so many different definitions, but I believe the reason why people bully persons with disabilities is because, number one, lack of knowledge. People are afraid of things that they don't understand. And that's why my solution, well, actually a tactic that I use right now, is when people are staring in the grocery stores, I ask them why they're staring. You know, would you like to know why he's doing the things that he's doing? And then I explain to them what autism is, and especially with the children. But what's most disheartening is the adults, when they don't just ask, you know, does your son have a disability? I'd like to know more about it. Get literature, go to the websites. It's so many support groups and agencies that are available to give you that information, and you don't have to be a parent.
Physical death that you do not come back from. This is not the Coyote and the Beep Beep, I'm trying to think, the Roadrunner cartoon where they push each other, throw bombs and rocks, and they fall off of cliffs and they get back up. The reality of it is that children are killing other children, whether they are wrestling and playing, whether they are playing with a gun and they think it's funny and it accidentally goes off.
People always say snitches get stitches, and people always try to resolve and snitching with violence.
It has a bad connotation because the people who came up with that term are those individuals who didn't want to be snitched on or didn't want to be set out. Again, the guys who commit the crimes, the guys who do what shouldn't be done, the guys who are pariahs in society. Those are the individuals who started that term, and they've managed to convince everybody else, or at least a number of people, that it's a bad thing to do. When in fact, if more people snitched, we'd have less problems.
It is important for people to realize that there's no such thing as snitching. It's reporting the bad behavior, and bad behavior that could negatively impact you yourself. So my advice is to tell what you know. You see something, you hear something, you say something. Tell what you know so that others can hear and others can be able to help, because without that information, we wouldn't know how to help you. I'm Chief Tim Curry of the Maywood Police Department. Our department is a 24-hour operation. We're here to serve the community all hours of the day. And as it relates to bullying, we recognize that bullying is a very serious, very underrated event that happens to many people. And it's something that changes people's mindsets. It negatively impacts them in their future. And what we really need for people to understand is that they need to listen to anyone who claims that they've been bullied, anyone who is not acting in a normal fashion. You need to be able to talk to them. And if you can pull something out of them, you need to be able to reach out to the police department, because we can be the liaison to many social service organizations that specialize in dealing with bullying. Police departments are used to arresting people, putting them in jail, but there's a softer side of law enforcement, and that's serving people in a more social aspect.
Essentially talking about a real-life instance of what would you do. Imagine you're the parent of a teenager caught on video ganging up on and beating up another child. Would you turn your own child into police? Michael Palomino did, and his son is now facing the consequences.
As painful as the video is to watch, the father of this teen, Raymond Palomino, seen here allegedly stomping, punching, and slamming another boy to the ground, along with 6 other teens, says it was especially gut-wrenching for him because of the decision he was forced to make after he saw it.
They had to call the 911.
That's right. He called the police on his own 17-year-old son, who was then arrested.
I did what was right as a parent.
I know that bullying extends itself outside of the classroom, onto the playgrounds, the school buses, en route to and from school. And so it's really important that we look at bullying as not just at school, but around the grounds. And so finding funding to address the issue is really important to me, and our state agency has done a pretty good job at providing those resources.
There's so many laws. If you go to stopbullying.gov, you will see a list of proactive things that the state of Illinois is trying to do in efforts to minimize and ultimately eradicate, stop, put an end to, cease all forms of bullying at every level. The challenge is that that language, that information is oftentimes not given to the community in a way in which we can understand. And I say we because even with a doctorate and over 20 years of experience working with students, teachers, schools, community organizations, not-for-profits, churches, we still don't get it. So there's a reason why there's a disconnect. Again, when you look at the state of Illinois and you look at us being at the bottom of the barrel in terms of our academic achievement, but we are #1 in the penal system, and we see these school-to-prison pipelines, you have to ask, why is that? And so we look at the dropout rates. We look at the violence against teachers, violence against students. The security guards are being attacked. The students don't feel safe. But you have to look at the environment in which we place them in. So you see metal detectors, you see guard dogs, you see police with guns patrolling your schools. You're in uniforms, and I'm not opposed to uniforms. But the thing is, we create this environment that says we're watching you all the time because we don't trust you. And so people then rise to the level of your expectation. So we say it's for the idea of making everyone safe. But the bottom of the, to me, the bottom line is we're putting band-aids on significant wounds. And it's not sufficient anymore. It is too many deaths. One death too many.
And my daughter wanna mimic the TV. Hey.
No more excuses. No more excuses. No more excuses.
It was a sad reminder of the harshness and the cruelty that remains all too prevalent in many parts of this country. Youth violence is not a Chicago problem, any more than it is a black problem, a white problem, or a Hispanic problem. It is something that affects communities big and small, and people of all races and all colors. It is an American problem.
What's different, and I think this is probably actually heartbreaking, that it takes capturing a death on video to wake the country. Nothing against anyone here, but when we were dealing with children being shot every single day, I never saw a crowd like this, ever. And so something about seeing something on video seems to wake up this country.
Our children are dying. Our mothers are still crying.
I ain't gotta say no more. Y'all know where I'm going with this. RNG.
Stop! Students together opposing peer pressure.